Yo, what's good guys, Austin here, and first off, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing with this wall, this background behind me. Like I said in my last video, I just moved into a new apartment, whole new city, so we're gonna figure this out eventually, but today, I've got a really exciting video for you guys. So first off, shout out to Samsung for sending this over. This is their 32-inch curved QLED quantum dot gaming monitor. No, that's a lot to say, a lot of branding talk there, but this thing's really got a lot going for it. It's got HDR, it runs 144Hz, WQHD resolution, AMD FreeSync. So for a gaming monitor, a 32-inch curved gaming monitor, it's actually one of the best ones out there. So with all that said, let's just hop right into it. Well, this is why you don't open up things with a big ass knife. So when you open the box, one of the first things you'll get is this box of accessories. They include all the cables you need to connect it to your PC, as well as a vase mount adapter to mount this on a wall. There's a DisplayPort 1.4, 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, headset and microphone jacks, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. Going back to those included cables though, probably the dumbest thing about this monitor is the power cable orientation. I don't know why they designed it like this, but you have to like wrap around the already short cable back here because it's facing in the wrong direction. It just makes no sense to me. Anyways, they also include a panel to cover up the ports on the back and have a little cable management notch on the stand to guide all of your cables. The stand itself is okay, you can adjust the height, swivel, and even rotate it 90 degrees. I just don't like the fact that it takes up so much space on your desk. Because of the arm, you're going to need a fairly large desk to fit this comfortably. Other than that, I do like the design of this monitor. It's a bit more understated than other gaming monitors, but it is still a gaming monitor, so you already know they had to throw in some LEDs. There's a pretty subtle LED ring light on the back that you can turn on and off if you want, and honestly, it's actually a little underwhelming. I don't even really notice it's on unless the room I'm in is pitch black. It's a nice touch, but it's not that big of a deal. You can get to the menus on the back using this little knob, and the on-screen display is pretty intuitive. You can change the input, different video settings like the refresh rate and FreeSync, and you can actually set up different profiles using these buttons on the bottom, which is great if you want different settings. For example, one for gaming, another for watching movies, and another one for general desktop use. But back to the panel, it's really good. Colors look great, the resolution is nice, and using it as a regular monitor, text is sharp and everything looks good. And even though it's a curved monitor, the backlight uniformity is still pretty good. This is actually my first curved monitor, and even though it's not actually bigger than my other monitor, it is a little bit more immersive because of the pronounced curve, especially on a monitor of this size. So that's the design, but let's get into the actual display. So like I said before, this is a 32-inch behemoth. It's a QLED panel, which stands for quantum dot LED. Now, Samsung always has ridiculous marketing names for their display technologies, but QLED is essentially just a VA LCD panel. They've been using this in their TVs since CES 2015. It looks great though. It's got a 1440p resolution, which is great for a monitor this size. My other monitor that I use for video editing is 4K, but this resolution is much nicer for a gaming monitor because it's a bit easier on my graphics card and I can actually get things running on higher settings. But combine that with the 144Hz refresh rate is really incredible. I mean, I'm coming from a 60Hz refresh rate on my regular monitor, and just doing regular things on my computer like scrolling makes my computer seem even faster. It also has support for AMD FreeSync, which helps eliminate image tears and reduces stutters, but obviously this is only if you have an AMD graphics card, which I wasn't able to test because I have NVIDIA. But overall, the gaming experience on this is great. The size, resolution, and color accuracy paired with the curved screen provides a really immersive experience. And it's pretty responsive too. It has a 1 millisecond response time, which is super important for competitive games like FPSs, and it even has a low input lag mode, which improves the responsiveness even more. Now, the last big feature that this monitor has is HDR. Now these days, more and more HDR content is being released. A lot of new TVs support HDR, and consoles like the Xbox One S and PS4 have games and apps like Netflix that support HDR. Now the only issue with this monitor, which actually has nothing to do with the monitor itself, is the fact that there isn't actually a ton of HDR content for the PC, and it's much harder to get HDR on your computer. You need very recent hardware, very specific Intel chips and graphics cards, and even with that, there just aren't a ton of games for the PC. A couple that I've tried out were Shadowrunner 2 and Resident Evil 7, but even with those, that was like a list of like maybe 10-15 games that I found that actually support HDR natively on the PC, so good luck. Overall, it's a really impressive monitor, but if you want to get the most out of it, you're going to have the content to go with it. But even if you're not playing a bunch of games in HDR, the image quality is still fantastic, and you can still hook up your Xbox or PS4 for actual HDR content. It's a little on the pricier side, but it's definitely got a lot of really good things going for it. So that's pretty much it for this video. That is the Samsung CHG70 Curved Gaming Monitor QLED. So if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.